Hello, everyone. This is iBUG Buzz for May 23rd, 2022, and it is episode 535. Wow, that's amazing. Um, I am Terry Sauerman. I'm the facilitator for the first hour, along with Sandhya. And this is an open forum for questions or comments or helpful tips regarding iPhones, iPads, iPod touches, Apple watches, or Apple TVs, and for anyone who wishes to become more proficient in the use of the accessibility features of any of these devices. We'll also have our weekly iBug Bite segment following the big reveal. And because it's the fourth Monday of the month, I believe we also have a toys segment at about 9 o'clock or so. So you want to stick around for the entire 2 hours because I think you're going to learn a lot of good things tonight. Uh, Welcome to everyone who has joined us here or who might be listening on who might be listening to the rebroadcast, I should say, which is found in many different places now, including the, the I'm drawing a blank on the one thing oh shoot, help.
Oh, YouTube and
Yeah,
the
yes.
website and all kinds of
YouTube was
places.
what I
Yes.
was trying to think of because I don't know that everybody realizes that now. So there's lots of good places to find the rebroadcast. So even if you're here tonight, there might be something you want to go back and review. So we welcome you to do that as well. Just a reminder, if you don't know where the mute and unmute key is, when you want to remember to mute yourself when you're not speaking, and if you want to mute or unmute, it's a toggle, and on the iPhone, it's at the bottom left corner of your screen. On an iPad, it's in the top center of your screen. If you're using a Windows PC, it's the Alt A. If you're on a Mac, it's Command Shift A. And also on the Mac and on the PC, you can use the space bar as a push to talk feature. So you push it down to unmute yourself, and then you release the space bar to mute yourself again. And if you're on a landline phone, you're going to press the star key on your keypad, then followed by the number 6. And with the Zoom format that we are using, when you mute yourself, just remember that the host cannot unmute you. So you have to do that. If you're having difficulty unmuting yourself for some reason, the host might be able to send you a prompt inviting you to unmute yourself. Since we do not use the Zoom's raised hand feature, if you want to ask a question or answer a question or whatever, if you're going to speak, you want to wait until there's an opening and then say your name, and then wait again until you're acknowledged by either Sandhya or myself. So don't just say your name and start speaking. We would ask that you wait to be acknowledged. We also ask that you not speak or make comments while others are speaking. We ask that you minimize your background noise, such as the sounds of screen readers, background conversations, TVs, clocks chiming, et cetera, et cetera. And since we want to involve as many participants in this call as possible, we encourage those of you who are new to these discussions to also speak up if you have a question or some helpful information regarding someone else's question. So if you're new, Yeah, you don't need to feel nervous. We're a family here, so we hope that you'll participate as well. Uh, and before we find out who is all on the call this evening, which is what we always do to begin, let's turn things over to Sandhya for the announcements for the week.
All right. Thank you, Terry Ann. Okay, so here are our weekly announcements for this week at iBUG. So here we are at the iBUG Buzz, and tomorrow, all times that I mentioned are going to be Central Time. So tomorrow from 5 to 6, we'll have the iBUG Mini Buzz, basically similar to what we're doing right now, but on a different platform. We'll be on Clubhouse, and the information to join us on Clubhouse is available on our website as well. Then in the evening, we have Mac and Talk from 7 to 8:30, all questions relating to the Mac and whether you should get one, or maybe you have one, don't know what to do with it. That's where you come with all those questions. So we hope that you will join us for that tomorrow. Then Thursday is going to be It's iBug's Life. There we'll be talking about parenting. Parenting, that's a tough topic, right? So if you are a parent, or, I just come and share your insights. You're going to have different perspectives of blind parents with children, or parents of blind children, all kinds of combinations there. So it should be an interesting discussion. So come for that. And that will be from 6 to 8 on Thursday. And that will be on the Zoom platform, the same Zoom conference line on that we are on right now. And that will be also how you will access the Mac as well, the Mac and Talk. Okay, then on Friday is iBug Night at the Virtual Movies. And we will have an audio described movie starting at 8 p.m. Central. Social time will be from 7:30. And then afterwards, we'll have a discussion and trivia. So if you want the clues, as Terry Ann mentioned, stick around till the top of the hour and we'll have the big reveal and compete for those amazing prizes. Okay, and then social media, we have a website, ibugtoday.org, ibugtoday.org is the best place to get all the information about our services and upcoming social events. Definitely best way is to register. It doesn't cost anything. None of our services cost anything. So we hope that you will avail yourself of these services that we're providing. We would love to meet you. So that's the website. You can go and, like we mentioned earlier, listen to podcasts there. All of our training sessions are archived and recorded. So you can go there to the podcast tab and find those. We have a YouTube channel, so definitely subscribe to that. It's the iBug Today. Then you have a Twitter is at iBug Today, and facebook.com/group/iBug Today. So all these different ways to share information, put your questions out there. So we hope that you will take part in them. And we also would like to say that we had our anniversary celebration this Saturday for our 11th anniversary, and we thank everybody that attended and supported us with our drawing, and we really appreciate everyone. We had a good time, and hopefully the recording will be posted soon for anybody who missed it. So we appreciate everybody who shared and participated share their talents with us. All right, with that, Terry Ann, I'm going to hand it back to you.
Very good. Thank you, Sandhya. Lots of things going on that we hope you all will avail yourselves of, because they're great things here. So now that we've gotten the announcements out of the way, I want to invite you to introduce yourselves. And if you are a first-time participant in this call, we'd like to know what Apple products you use and how you heard about iBug. So let us know those things, and let's start with the introductions. I'll go first. I'm Terry, and I'm from Arlington Heights, but I'm not a first-time caller.
This is Herbie in Houston, and I'm not a first-time caller either.
Yes, welcome, Herbie.
Janet from Colorado, not a first-time caller. Is there going to be an iBug next Monday because of Memorial Day? is my
This
question.
is Sandhya. Yes, there will be. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. Good. That's right. Next Monday is Memorial Day here in the US. Yes. All right. Who else would like to come in and say who you are?
John
Bridget
from Wisconsin.
Atlanta. Oops,
Let's
sorry.
see. Bridget from Atlanta, and who was that from Wisconsin? Is that John?
John from Wisconsin.
Welcome. Glad you're with us tonight. All right. Who else would like to come in and say hello?
Dana,
Elise.
Cincinnati.
Hello there, Dana and Elise. Hello to you as well.
Elisa and Porter.
Yes. Good evening.
Ned from
right.
Kyle, Texas.
There's Mr. Ned. How are you doing this evening?
Fine,
Ah,
thank you.
Good. All right. Who else is here with us tonight?
Roy from Fort Worth.
Welcome, Roy. Anyone else wishing to say hello?
Helene from Woodstock, New York.
Welcome, Helene.
Greg from Texas.
Welcome, Greg.
This
Jody
is
from
Dee.
New Hampshire.
Good evening, Jody. And someone else was coming in there?
Sorry.
Somebody else was saying hello?
Dee from Southern Illinois.
Oh, yes. Good evening, Dee.
Thank you.
Marvin from Chicago.
There he is. Hello there, Marvin.
This is Vincent from New Jersey,
Welcome, Vincent.
and congratulations to iBUG on its anniversary and to all the great people that make it possible. Thank you to everybody.
Indeed. Yes, totally agree. All right. Who else would like to come in and say hello?
Thomas from Grand Junction, Colorado.
Hello there, Thomas. All
This is
right.
Sandhya from Houston.
Hello there, Sandhya. All right.
Suba from Houston.
There's Suba. Yes. How are you today, Suba? Good to have you with us. Okay. Anyone else wanting to come in?
Deb from Wichita.
Hello there, Deb.
Hi.
Are you, let's see, I think you're not a new caller, but
No, she's not.
okay. Because I kind of recognize your name, but I wasn't sure. Good to have you with us this evening. Okay. Anyone else?
This is Bridget from Atlanta. I don't know if you guys heard me because I didn't say a welcome.
Oh, yes, we heard you. Yes, welcome to you, Bridget. Good to have you with us again.
Thank you.
Any others who wish to come in and say hello before we start with our questions? All right, I don't hear anybody right now, but I think somebody's trying to come in. But remember that if you can't get in now for whatever reason, we'll give you an opportunity at the halftime hour to also say hello if you haven't had a chance to do that now. So let us move on to the first question for the evening. Who would like to have the distinction of asking the first question for this Monday night?
Elisa.
Yes, Elisa, go ahead.
So I have an iPhone 13 and I am not sure. All of my apps apparently got moved and they're not in the home tab where they're supposed to be, and they got all moved.
All right. So your apps are not on your home screen where you had set them, and you want to know why and maybe how to get them back there. If anybody have any
Yes.
thoughts about
Yes,
that?
ma'am, because they moved and I'm like, why did they do that if I thought I had them all on my home page?
Anybody have any thoughts about that, or has anybody else
This
experienced
is
that?
Herbie.
Yes, Herbie.
So, when you got your new phone, did you restore from a backup or did you start it as a new phone?
Elisa,
Yes,
Yep.
go ahead.
I did it from a backup.
Okay, so did you now did you and so okay, so you restored from a backup but it rearranged all your apps anyway.
Like
And
a
when
couple days after I received the phone, all the apps were moved around.
oh, so it didn't happen right away. It happened a couple days after you got. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Did you do any updates between when you got the phone and when this happened?
The recent update, yes, the 15.5.
And did you organize your apps before, like into folders and stuff, or did you just have them arranged a certain way?
Elisa, I just had them arranged a certain way.
So,
I don't know why they all moved. I mean, because my messages are not at the home. It's my messenger that's showing at the home, and I'm like, why is it messenger? It should be messages, phone, and then your camera. I don't know.
so I know iOS likes to do tricky. That's why I was asking how you had the stuff organized, because Apple likes to do tricky things sometimes when with their updates to kind of rearrange how the home screen should look or whatever. Nowadays, for instance, I remember I've seen new phones now where they have like the utilities folder, and not to sound old, back in my day they did not. But my point is, they make changes. So my guess is, since you didn't actually have them in folders or whatever, my guess is that Apple assumed that you didn't care how they were laid out, and it would nicely made the change for you and what it thinks the default home screen should look like. I have all my apps in folders, so I haven't experienced this, but interesting to know if anybody else who does not rearrange their apps, if they have.
This is Suva.
Yes, Suba, go ahead.
Yes, so yes, the latest update, I generally like to keep all of my apps in the home screen within folders. And that includes everything. So I don't have multiple pages. So the latest update kind of didn't mess with my folder arrangements, but it kicked off like at least 30 applications and placed them in page number 2 and page number 3. I'm like, yeah, it's kind of weird. But anyway, you just have to go back, drag them around, and put them back into place, and it should be good.
This is Sandhya.
Yes.
Okay, so just to clarify, so for Elisa, where are we telling her, are her apps all in the app library, or where did they go? I mean, or do we know where they are? Is that that's her question, is that they're not on her home screen, so where are they?
This is
Shri.
Okay, Shri.
So Lisa, do you know if you hide some of your pages? Like, do you know how many home pages you had prior?
Elisa, if you're speaking, you're muted.
Yeah.
Elisa, can you repeat your question? Because I did not hear the question.
Prior to this, how many home pages did you have on your phone with apps?
Like 2.
2. Okay. Now, do you still have the 2 pages, or do you only have the 1 home page?
Nope. I mean, I have like more than one because it all went to different folders.
All right. And then do you also have widgets on your home screen?
No, I don't use widgets. I don't even know how to use the widgets.
Okay. That's all I had.
All right. Any other thoughts before we move on here? It can be a tricky thing with, with these updates and.
This is Roy.
Yes, Roy.
Lisa, if you go to your library and find the app that you want back on your home screen, if you flick down to edit and then flick down to drag, you can drag from the library back to the home screen. for your favorite apps. Do you know how to get to the library?
Okay, Elisa, you need to unmute yourself.
Elisa?
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, I know how to get to the library, and I went to the edit field, but it's not even letting me drag anything.
So when you act this, Roy, again, when you activate edit, you can't flick down to drag in your library?
No.
I'll be. I know I can. I'm not sure why.
You may have to call Apple Accessibility and have a chat with them about this too, if everything else fails. So, all right. Well,
This is Sri.
Yes, you'll be the last one for this question, I think.
Lisa, just
Oh,
out
go
of
ahead.
curiosity, are you able to, on the home screen of any of your apps, are you able to flick up or down to get the action item? Meaning, are you able to get the activate and edit when you flick up or down?
Elisa?
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, I'm able to get the activate and the edit, but it doesn't, I don't see the drag.
Now you have to edit first before you get the drag. So you have to flick up.
No,
just
so
like
I
in the
do
app
the,
library.
I do the edit part, but when I do the edit, it doesn't have the drag feature on the bottom.
Okay, so when you flick up and down on an app, you just have what? Activate and
Activate
edit?
and edit, and that's it.
And then when you double tap on edit and you flick up and down, what do you get?
Just the activate button.
Have you rebooted your phone after experiencing this issue?
I mean, I did it multiple times, but I don't.
Have you done a force reboot?
I don't want to mess it up since this is a brand new phone. I'm kind of scared to mess it up.
No, you won't mess it up doing a force reboot. It's just gonna clear up some issues that you may be encountering, because you should be able to do those functions because that's just a standard gesture. So if you're not able to get that edit option and being able to edit it, I would do a force reboot.
Since this is my first new phone that I got in a while, and I'm kind of like, oh my gosh.
Yep. All right. Well, if you want to try that, or if you feel better about trying that with somebody, thank you, Cherie, for that suggestion too. It is a good one.
This is Herbie.
And, I think we want to move on. I know we've spent a bit of time on this question,
Right.
but
It's kind of related to the app library. It's just a quick
I
comment.
think we're going to move on for now. But let's say, at least if you still have issues with it next week, maybe come back and we can revisit the question. How about that? So, all right. Who else? Is there anybody who's newer or someone who doesn't ask questions here very often, who would like to come in with a question? Somebody that hasn't had a chance to do that in a while. Or if anyone has other comments about things maybe we've talked about in the past few weeks too, that's also welcome here.
This is Helene.
Yes, Helene. Good evening.
I would like to ask a question about if anyone knows about a walking app. I'm trying to do better at mobility, and someone looked up some research and said in 2013 there was, when the iPhone 4, there was something called a walking app to help people who veer off to, the right or left, and that people with sight problems can walk in a circle. And I don't do that, but when I'm walking with my cane, and I did a video today for an orientation and mobility immersion, I just find that I end up walking right or left. So I was wondering if anyone on the phone knows about a walking app.
Okay. So you want this walking app to help you, or to at least let you know if you're not walking in a straight line? Is that?
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Oh, okay. Anybody with
I don't know
thoughts
if
about that?
there's-
What was that?
I don't even know if it exists. Someone
Yeah.
just mentioned that they downloaded an article about walking. It's called a walking app that Apple was.
Mhm.
It's from Apple.
This is Sandhya.
Yes, Sandhya.
So one possibility, Helene, I don't know about the one that you're talking about, so I apologize, but there is, I think the Clue app is something that I think we've mentioned. It's basically you map your path and then it will guide you back, over that same path to take you back to your starting point. So that might be something helpful. So that might be good. I mean, you do have, it takes a little bit of work to record the path. But it's pretty neat once you have it set up, and you could set up different ones for like when you go to the doctor's office or whatever. So
This is Dana.
Yes, Dana, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say the Clue app is spelled CLEW. In case you were wondering.
Good point. Yeah. Okay.
This is Roy.
Jody?
Let's see. I think I heard Jody. You came in with Dana, I think. So we'll take you next, and then Roy. Go ahead.
Yeah, the Clue app is great for indoors, but for outdoors, I would recommend Soundscape. It's not going to tell you whether you're veering or not, but it will give you really good outdoor directions. But the Clue app is great for indoors.
This is Karen.
We'll take Roy first and then Karen. Go ahead, Roy.
Okay, I was just going to say there is a compass on the phone. It's not going to tell you that you're veering slightly, but you could verify whether you're facing north as to northeast by opening the compass, putting it in your pocket.
Okay.
That's all I had.
All right. And then Karen, I think you had something.
I have an app called I Walk Straight. Now, I use it indoors.
Straight. Okay. So you're
And it's
using
just
it indoors. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I just did it just to practice to see what it was like. And it does, let you know, give you haptic feedback if you're going, to the left or to the right. And then I don't know, how much you're supposed to use it outdoors. I guess you can use it outdoors. I know I never did, but it's called I Walk Straight. So you can just practice with that.
And that's downloaded from the App Store.
Yes.
So is that IWALK straight? Is that how that's spelled?
I believe it's the letter I. Not sure. It could be EYE, but it's probably the letter I. Try either one, but it's definitely I Walk Straight.
And
it's interesting.
Yeah, very good. Sometimes when you go to the App Store to look at a specific app, it will give you information about it. So you want to be sure and look for that. My point being that if it is something that would work both indoors and outdoors, it might tell you that. So, or if it only works, if an app you're looking at only works indoors, it might give you that information. So be sure and look for the information about the app, the description of it, I think is what I want to call it. All
This is
Kathy.
Yes, Kathy, go ahead.
I don't know if you want one more comment on that. I'm just thinking if you're just starting to use the cane and listening might be more helpful than, everybody veers, which is what people tell me anyway. But sometimes it's listening to the sound of the building or the traffic that can help keep you straight. And I wonder if having an app at some point would take away the concentration from the walking. Just a thought from an old fart.
All right. Very good. Well, that gives you a few ideas. And when you're here the next time, let us know if you found any success with anything here. All right. Who has another question?
Raheel?
Yes, Raheel. Good evening to you. Go ahead.
Good evening. I have a question. I've been noticing when I was talking on FaceTime or the regular phone or on FaceTime that people, my friend, she could hear like my voiceover on her end, and sometimes I can get the tactile feedback and she can hear her voiceover on her end, and I have to like, and then I have to like swipe up and down, and then it's like, then the voiceover on my end finally comes on and the audio finally comes on. How ought I fix this issue?
All right. So I'm not sure I'm totally understanding what your issue is. You're hearing sounds from her phone that you don't think you should be hearing. Is that the
No,
point? Or
when I'm talking, all of a sudden the audio cuts off, and then she can hear my voiceover on her end,
okay.
and that can
Anybody have any thoughts about that?
actual feedback. So
Mhm. Okay.
This is Herbie.
Yes, Herbie.
Are you using speakerphone when this happens?
no, I'm on a FaceTime video call.
That doesn't answer my. Okay, then let me rephrase it this way. So then, are you wearing headphones?
No.
Then you're on speakerphone.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's the reason. Okay, so what's happening is speakerphone has a feature that kind of. It's basically, it has a modulation that goes back to speakerphones of old with the landline days that prevents feedback from the microphone with the speaker. And so what's happening is it kind of causes you to fade in and out from time to time. And so if a loud noise occurs, like voiceover or whatever coming through, that's creating a little bit of feedback, and that's it's kind of overriding your voice, and the phone is hearing that instead, and that's why you're having audio cutout issues. The best way to avoid this, and I'll talk more about this on the iToy segment actually, because I'm going to talk about well, you'll just have to stay at 9, but I'll give you a solution then on that might work better for you for FaceTime calls and for you and everybody else. So stick around.
Right.
All right. So we have a teaser. Yes, go ahead.
It's been happening on the 13 Pro iPhone.
Okay.
So that's what I've been noticing on the new one.
Mm-hmm. Well, maybe Herbie will have a suggestion for you during the iToy segment. So
I think Keith was trying to talk.
Okay, thanks.
So I thought I heard Keith. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yes, Keith, go ahead.
Brahil, are you hearing voiceover on your end?
No, when the audio cuts out and I am feeling tactile feedback, she's hearing voiceover on her end.
One thing you can try, and I don't know that it would help if you're not hearing voiceover on your end, just do a 3-finger double tap and turn the sound off and see if that helps. Because if you're not wearing headphones, it might, like Herbie was saying, it might be coming through the speaker anyway, but just to try it, you might do the 3-finger just to turn the sound off to see if that does help any.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Very good. So we'll move on to the next question. Who would like to ask a question, maybe who hasn't had a chance recently to do so?
This is Herbie.
Okay, go ahead.
So, just a real interesting observation that I was playing around with this, and I noticed with the app library. So, if I was to actually search for an app, I do not have any edit options whatsoever. I can't do anything. But if I'm just browsing through the apps on the app library, then I actually do have the edit button. And so, I guess my question for you, Roy, is have you, like, especially with this latest update, have you tried actually, like, searching for an app within the app library to see if you can do, and I tried all the action things I could think of with the flicking down, flicking up, two finger double tap and hold, two finger, one finger double tap and hold, the one finger triple tap to see if I could bring up a context menu, but it was clearly there if I was just browsing through apps, which is not always a viable solution if you have a ton of them in there.
This is Roy.
Yes, go ahead, Roy.
I've experienced the same thing. The only time it works is if you're just flicking through your list.
All right, so that is what I thought. Okay, thank you.
All right, very good. Okay, who else would like to come in with a question or an observation or a comment?
This is Kenny.
Yes, Kenny, good evening.
Good evening. My question is for those of you who have or thinking about upgrading to a new device, what are the ways that y'all have backed up your data and on your older iPhone?
Okay, who can help with that? Updating the your items on the older phone.
Yeah, backing up. I should have said backing up.
I'm sorry. Backing up your items on your old phone.
Yeah, what methods?
Mm-hmm. How do you do that?
This is Suva.
Yes, Suba.
So for a backup, the one way that I like to do is have a external hard drive, and then I just like to use the computer to back it up and keep those files in the external hard drive to kind of retrieve it if I need to later down the line. But that's could be one option. There are others also.
All right. Any other thoughts regarding backing up an older device, an older iDevice, so that you don't lose the information that you have on it in case you need it again?
This is Suva again.
Yes, Suba.
One other thing is it's actually from Shri. He mentioned what is it? Jeez. Sand expand, I expand. Okay, I think it's I expand. There you go. That's the one. Okay. So yeah, you just kind of like use that to kind of back up pictures and photos, but it's not a true backup of your data. It will do like photos and other things, but I feel like the true one would be backing up the folder through a computer system. Or you can go the iCloud route.
This is Herbie.
Yes, Herbie.
I'm really surprised nobody else has actually mentioned this, but good old-fashioned iCloud is very good at backing up your entire phone, right down to the voiceover settings. And I have used that method. I have also used iTunes in the past, but I have found that over the years, iCloud has actually done a very good job of backing up my phone. I do pay for the 200 gig storage because I have had a lot of data at times, like with photos and stuff. But I find that it does work. The limitation is that it can take a while for your phone to sync up once you replace it, and you're letting everything download. But that's something you can just let it do overnight or whatever, and or do it during the daytime if you've got other things going on. That's the only annoying thing about iCloud. Otherwise, you can also just do it directly to the computer with Windows or Mac. And there are some third party apps that will also back up your phone too, but again, they are third parties. But I have found that iCloud does keep everything, and you can go to the iCloud settings and make sure everything is turned on that you want backed up.
All right. Very good. So I hope those are helpful suggestions for you, Kenny. So we'll move on then to the next question that might be out there for somebody. So if you're new, let's see if we have anybody else new who would like to ask a question.
This is Roy about the iCloud backup. I had a question about that, a follow-up.
Okay, go ahead.
So it'll default to do backups periodically on its own. How do you invoke a backup manually on the iPhone? I've never even tried.
You want, this is Kenny, you want to back up your device through the phone? Is that correct?
Well, you can go in there and check, and it does periodic backups on its
Yes.
own. And that's the ones I've always used. I've never invoked a backup at the
Okay.
moment. How do you do that?
I could tell you how to do that.
Yes, go ahead, Kenny.
Go to settings, tap on your name, go to iCloud, go to iCloud backup on. Double tap on that, and then there'll be a button that'll say backup now. Double tap on that, and it'll start your backup.
This is Roy.
Yes,
I appreciate that, Kenny. I figured it was simple. I've just never done it. So it's never simple when you've never done it.
What's cool about it is if you flick, I think it's flick back to the left, it'll give you a percentage, and it'll first start at like 2% and go from there. Now, I have never gotten mine to say 100%, but how I know it's done, I'll flick to the right and it'll say backup now, and it'll say last successful backup, and it'll give you the time.
Okay, thanks.
All right, very good. All right, do we have, just out of curiosity, do we have any what I'm going to call leftover questions or things that were talked about maybe last week or the week before that we were still looking answers to, because that maybe somebody wanted to come in here with? This would be a good time for that as well.
This is Roy again.
Yes, Roy, go ahead.
I wanted to share something. The simplest things tickle me sometimes. And I work with veterans that really struggle with the home gesture. You can actually say, hey, Siri, home screen, and it'll take you back to page 1. And I didn't realize that till just recently, but
okay,
wanted to share.
Very good. Yeah. Some of the easiest gestures are the things that we don't often think about. And one of my other mottos is anything's easy once you know how. And sometimes it's just the knowing how, which is why this group is so good, because we get a lot of information that's helpful in the how aspect of things. So anybody else with a question?
Okay, this is Bridget from Atlanta.
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
Okay, this is a question that it came to me when someone was talking about the app. Like, I'm new to this, so when I download an app, I don't particularly put it anywhere, but I realize it goes different places. Then I realized some of them just went to the library. The other ones, I just scroll until I find it. So my thing is, and I heard someone say about putting them in files, but is it all right, like how I do it, and it just drop wherever, and I just kind of have to remember it? So how does that work? Is that a particular thing you can do, or just whatever works for you?
Okay, who would like to answer that question? Okay, maybe just to
This is
clarify.
Sri.
Okay, go ahead, Shri.
So there is a settings that you can tell or set up so that anytime you download, it can go to the app library. Otherwise, by default, when you download an app, it'll go to the second home screen. And as long as you got a space in the second home screen, it will put it there. Now, if you run out of space on the second home screen, it'll move it to the third home screen. So that really depends on, how much apps you have. But there is a settings that you can tell it to automatically put in the app library and not on the home screen.
Okay.
Can I ask you the setting? Where will the setting I go to, and where will the setting say?
It'll say, basically what it'll ask you, do you want the apps to be on the app library, or do you want it to show up on the home screen? I'll take a look at it and come back and tell you exactly what it says, because I don't know the exact verbiage right now, but it's
All right, thank
very
you much.
good. Great. All
Miss
right.
Kathy,
Yes, Kathy.
I don't know the answer to that, but the thing about it is, it doesn't matter where your app really goes, because you can just ask, again, you can ask Siri to open a certain app and she'll find it no matter where it is. I've got like 4 screens of apps, and I know where some of them are, and I'll just go to them, but other ones I could just say open contacts or open whatever, and she'll open it.
Okay.
All right. That's often one way to solve
And there are
the
ways,
problem.
there are ways to move them too. I'm sorry, Terry. You can move them once you've got them. If they're put somewhere you don't like them, there's a whole way to move them, which is a big thing.
All right. Very good. I hope that helps, Bridget. So keep us posted on that if you would, as we go along from week to week. And
This is Vincent.
yes, Vincent.
I need a clarification. My understanding is or was that the apps that are on the dock in the home screen, those are by design and they cannot be moved. So in my iPhone, I have the telephone, Safari, and messages. Okay, and they are always there in the dock, regardless of what page I may be in. But from what I heard before is that the messages. Oh, I'm sorry, and the messages app is also in the dock, so I always know I can always find them, go there. But from what I heard before from one of the participants is that at least one of those apps was not in the dock anymore. Messages. Is that possible? Is that something that one can do by mistake, by fooling around with them?
This is Jody.
Yeah, who was the gentleman was first?
Marty.
Yes, go ahead, Marty, and then we'll come to Jody.
Vincent, I think the apps on the bottom of your screen, like music, phone, and Safari, and I think they cannot be moved, but all the other apps, including messages, they can be moved. Now, what you might have heard is some of them, I don't think, like messages cannot be deleted. I think there are some that cannot be deleted, but they can be moved.
All right.
Okay, this is Sandhya. Oh, sorry.
Let's see. Jody had a question or a comment, and then we'll
No,
come
I
to
just
you,
want to
Sandhya.
comment. Yeah, you can move anything in and out of the docks you can customize it however you like, and you can move the apps there just like you can move apps anywhere.
So it will be the same as like I know I do that in the computer. I exchange and move around or move out of the dock some items and then put new ones in there. So I can do the same thing with both the iPad and the iPhone.
This is Jody. Yes, and actually, what I will do is I'll move one of the apps out of the dock, and if I want to move from say page 1 to page 10 of my apps, and yes, I've got 300 apps. Then a quick way to move apps is to put them down in the dock, move to the page you wanted to move to, and then move it back up again, so you don't have to go from page to page. But yes, you can move apps in and out of the dock.
Oh, that's a great suggestion. Because I usually have issues moving it around. Thank you.
Yeah.
And Sandhya, you had a comment.
I was just going to clarify. I mean, Marty alluded to it. I mean, that there are some apps that used to be like stock apps. I mean, certain apps that Apple put on there that we couldn't delete, but I thought they had subsequently changed it, but somebody could correct me. But there used to be a stocks app and something else. And, it's like, I would put them on the very last home screen because I never used it, but I don't know. I thought that you can even delete those now.
This is Kenny.
Yes, Kenny, go ahead.
Yes, you're correct. You can delete them, and you can also get them back from the App Store if you delete them.
This is Terry. I think, and if you do that, I think it says something like re-download. So it recognizes that they were once apps that you had on your phone, whether it was in Docs or somewhere else. So that your phone is aware of the fact that it is something that you've had before. So it's a good confirmation of that app that you want to put back in your dock or just on your phone in general.
This is Herbie.
Yes, Herbie.
So there are some stock apps I don't think you can actually delete per se, but you can remove them from your home screen. An example is like the phone app. You can remove it from your home screen, but you can't actually... I don't think it would let me delete it from the library. I don't know that I'd really want to try. Maybe I could try it on the old phone, but then again, I don't know if I want to talk to anybody either, so that could be an advantage. But I think there's some apps that you can't actually truly delete, but there are, like Stocks is definitely one now you can get rid of, but it doesn't, do a primary function on the phone either, so it's, there's probably some apps like Stocks, News, things like that, but there's probably going to be some apps that you'll never be able to get rid of, like Settings. Don't know about Mail. I'm guessing Messages would be one of them. App Store is another one because I was having an App Store issue and I actually wondered if I could delete it. So I think there's going to be some you'll never be able to fully get rid of in terms of like truly deleting, but so hopefully that clarifies that a little bit. But if anybody wants to try to remove their phone or whatever, let us know how it works out.
I think the basic question here, though, was just removing it from the dock and putting it somewhere
but Marty
else
and Jody had already answered that, so I was
right.
Yeah.
This is Keith.
Yes, Keith.
I know the last time that I moved some apps in and out of the dock, it seemed like if you have 4 apps in the dock, you have to move one out of the dock before you move another one in. Yeah. It will not let you move an app to the dock if it's full. So you may have to just do a little scrambling around to fix it just exactly how you like. But yeah, you can customize it any way you want to.
Good
This
point.
Is Kenny.
Yes, Kenny.
I also wanted to give a tip of organization. I'm going to give an example like weather apps. Say if you have like 4 or 5 or 6 or more weather apps, good way to organize them is to start a drag session with one weather app. And when you find another weather app, add it to the drag session and so forth and so on. And then when you get all your weather apps in that session, you can create a folder and tell it to put it all in the folder, and you can name the, like for me, I have like 6 weather apps, and I named the folder weather, and there are all my weather apps right in its own folder.
Very good.
This is Herbie, real quick.
Yes, Herbie, and then we'll
I
move
just
on
wanted
for
to.
one more
I just
question.
yeah. No, I just want to mention, and you've definitely been always able to move stuff from the dock. In fact, when I first got my iPhone in 2010, I was creating folders, and we won't talk about what an arduous process that was back then. But I did have the stuff in the dock, like phone and mail and all that. So you've definitely, as long as I've had the iPhone, at least with iOS 4, you've always been able to move stuff out of the dock. So.
Very good. Yep. All
This is
right.
Arlene.
Yes, Arlene.
So is the app library a folder, and where is it?
Who'd like to help with that one? Is there somebody we haven't heard from tonight who might know the answer to that? Before we go to people perhaps who have.
This is Janet from Colorado.
Yes, Janet, go ahead.
It's on the bottom page. Like for me, it's on page 8, and it is a folder. And there are folders in there with different apps inside of them where you can get into it to, if you want to go and activate that app, you can in that section.
All right, very good.
This is Keith.
Did that help you, Arlene?
Yeah, well,
I think so. Oh, this is Arlene.
Yes.
So you can make folders, or you can send apps to a folder that apparently is already there that I didn't know was there, called the app folder. Do I have an
the
app
app
folder?
library? Yep.
App library. So I have one of those too, even though I didn't make one.
We all have them. I think all iPhones have them.
Oh, okay.
All right,
And
Keith, I
you
think
said
you
it's on
wanted
the.
to.
I'm sorry.
Keith, I think
you said it's on the last page.
Yes.
Okay.
On
Thank
the
you.
last page. Yep. You're welcome.
Okay.
This is Marty.
I think let's go with Keith and then Marty.
Okay, I was just gonna let you know, if you put your finger at the lower left-hand corner of your screen and then swipe left, it will tell you what page you're on. Like I have 13 home pages, so it will say 1 of 13. And if you move it to the last page and then do the 3-finger swipe left, it will take you to the app library. So basically, it's the page after your last home screen.
All right. And Marty.
Yeah, I was going to say basically the same thing that Keith said. If you swipe to your last, if you go to your last page and then do a 3-finger swipe up, you'll be in the library. It's almost like it's a separate section. And in fact, to get out of it, if you press your home button, it will bring you like out of the library to the last page. Because I've gotten into the library and wondered how to get out, and that's how I got out.
This is Herbie.
Yes, Herbie.
So real quick, so yeah, we've had the app library since iOS 14, I think. But I just wanted to mention that we do have a cafe where we discuss the app library, and you can definitely find that on our iBUG website at ibugtoday.org/podcasts. And I think it's also on our YouTube channel in the iBUG Cafe playlist. So, and you can just search for iBUG Today on YouTube, and there you go.
Very good. All right. Well, I think we are about 30 seconds shy of 8 o'clock, or the top of the hour, let's say that. And so if anybody has a real quick question, I think we have time for a real quick one. Yes, I heard Keith first.
Just a real quick one, and it's had kind of out the app library. I've had a folder that had several apps that got misplaced, And so I went to the app library and just copied them out of the app library and moved them to a folder. And then I noticed that I had two, like say Facebook, there was two icons on the screen for Facebook, one in the folder and then one on, page 8 or whatever it was. And so it seems like copying the apps out of the app library just created a double icon. Has anybody come across that?
Anybody had that happen?
And I guess the other question is, if I
This is Shree.
delete one, will it delete both of them or just one?
Okay,
This is Shree.
Shree, go ahead.
So this is a new feature that became available, and the reason that you're able to create the same app in multiple home screens is so now you have the ability to create the home screen based on whether you want to do like a work home screen versus a non-work home screen or whatever you want to create. So because we're able to hide the screens now so that you could create a Facebook page only available to you either if you want to have like the home version of your home screen showing up versus your work, or you may want to have an app that will show up in both your home and work. So that's one of the advantages of creating the same app in multiple pages.
All right. And so Jody, if I could ask you to hold your thought till since we're now at the top of the hour, if you could hold your thought till the next question segment, that would be really helpful. So I will turn things back over to Sandhya.
All right. Thank you, Terry Ann. Very good. Very busy there. So now we will ask anybody who didn't get a chance to say hello the first time around to just say who you are, where you're from.
Nikki, San Francisco.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Raheel from Albany, New York. Haven't been here in a while.
Yeah, glad to have you back. Welcome. Anybody else?
Arlene, North Carolina.
Hello, Miss Arlene. Welcome.
Hi.
Shree from Virginia.
Shree, welcome. All right, we're just going around. Who else? Say who you are, where you're from, if we didn't get to do so. Anybody else? Want to say hi? Okay. All right. So now you know what's coming, right? So here we go. We are going to have our big movie reveal. And with those revealing clues, the iBUG guy, dare I ask, is it you? iBUG guy, are you there? Okay.
Yes, I am here.
Oh,
welcome everyone to the big reveal. We're getting ready. But before I go there, I just wanted to say something about the appropriate use of the F word. That is further versus farther. When do you use one and when do you use the other? I never know, but someone smart happened to tell me one day. So the FU word, further, is a conceptual word, distance word, and the word farther is a concrete word. So if you're talking about a distance such as the next town is 3 miles farther down the road, then you would use farther. If you're just talking in conceptual terms, such as in a little while, I can't even think of the actual, an example right now.
We will discuss this further.
Okay, yes, we will discuss this further in a little while.
Not in a
After
little while.
after about 30 seconds. Okay. No, it is time for Michael.
Your guttural problems.
Oh dear.
All right, here we go. Remember the rules. Say your name, wait to be recognized. You get one guess per clue, 5 guesses total. Don't just shout out, and we need the title of the movie. Clue number 1.
Oh boy.
Our film this week is set in a place we have seen before, a historical city that once had a lovely tea party.
Raheel,
Raheel,
can you repeat that again, please?
sure, I can repeat that again. Our film this week is set in a city that we've seen before, a historical city that had a lovely tea party.
Boston.
Kathy.
All right, his guess was Boston. They are a great musical group, but not the film that we're going to be watching. All right, Kathy.
Good Will Hunting.
Good Will Hunting. Oh, maybe not. Good guess, Cassie.
This is
Who did that? I heard somebody say.
I think it
Is
was
there a name?
Brooks.
Oh, Brooks. Go ahead, Brooks.
I think.
No? Brooks, are you
This
here?
is
Kenny, go ahead.
The Departed.
The Departed, another great film that we will see in the future,
We will.
but not this week.
This is Ned.
Okay, Ned.
The Paper Chase.
The Paper Chase, another great film set in Boston, but not the one we're going to see this week. All right, we're going to have to move along to clue number 2. Much of the film storyline requires boring and tedious gumshoe work.
This is Shri.
Shri.
A History of Violence.
History of Violence. I don't know that that was set in Boston, but it was a good guess. Thank you for playing, Shri. And you have been eliminated from the game.
I get 5 rounds.
Don't worry. You got some
This
more.
is Jody.
Jody.
Spencer for hire.
Spencer for hire. I haven't seen it yet, so nobody else will either.
Okay.
Anyone else? We're going to move on to clue number 3.
Are we going to stump them again?
Clue number.
Oh,
Oops.
Vincent.
Or Kenny.
Oh, sorry.
The
Keep hearing.
Transformers. Was also one of those.
Say that one more time.
The Transformers.
The Transformers. Was that in Boston? I don't know about that one, but since I don't know, it's obviously not the right movie. All right, clue number 3. The storyline was the first to dominate everyone's conversation after 9/11.
What?
Oh, this is Shri.
Ooh, Shri, we're going to let you back in for one guess only.
Is it about the bomb in Boston?
Ooh, Boston Tree is so wrong again. Good try, Shree.
A bomb in Boston. Okay, keep going.
This is
Anybody
Jody.
else?
Jody.
I don't think I've used up my guesses. Boston Strong.
Boston Strong, another great movie set in Boston, but not the one we're going to see this week. Good try,
Okay.
Jody. You have been eliminated. Next, anyone
Okay.
else?
From this
All right,
round.
moving on to clue number. What are we on? 4.
Or
The truth. I got a missing tooth. The truth of that story. The evil it describes will be a wound in the psyche of millions.
This is Suba.
Who was
Suba
before
and
Shree?
Suba.
Suba.
Violet Evergarden.
Ooh, I didn't think anybody would get it, but Suba, you did not get it either. Good try. Okay, Shree.
Cape Fear.
What?
Cape Fear.
Cape
No.
Fear is somewhere on the coast of Atlantic. So Boston is kind of on the coast of the Atlantic, but not that close. All right, moving. Anybody else want to take a guess before we move to clue number 4?
5.
Oh, 5. I think we're going to stump them, but no. Instead, I have made up a clue that is a total giveaway. If you don't get it on this, then I will never return.
Oh, wow. Is that a promise?
Yep.
I mean, sorry.
Clue number 5. Although the main characters are not seen all around the globe, they really stand out in the spotlight.
This is Shree.
Shree.
Watchmen.
Okay. What was the last word you said?
What, man?
Watchman.
No.
That was not even. That's kind of close, but we're not going to give it to you, Shree. All right, let me read that one more time just for the sake of everyone that did not hear it the first time. Listen closely to the clue. Remember the previous clues, especially clue number 1, we are set in Boston. I can't even do an accent. Hurry
up. We gotta go. Hurry up.
Although the main characters are not seen around the globe, they really stand out in the spotlight. Oh, I can't give any easier of a clue. All right, Brooks, save us.
Spotlight.
Spotlight! Ding, 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 ding. Yes. Very good.
Oh my God. No,
We
Brooks.
had to spoon feed you guys this time, but
Gave it away.
Never heard of it.
Never
all
heard of this movie.
right.
We didn't pick up on the clue. You said it.
No one, that's the problem. No one has seen it. So, all right, except for Brooks.
What year?
Congratulations, Brooks. Man, my tooth keeps falling out.
Okay.
What year is written?
Okay.
Or
All right.
the
We got to
movie?
move on.
All right, Johnny, what do we have for our winner tonight?
All right. For Brooks, who saved us, we have a what is that called? Signed copy of the book by Dan Shaughnessy. The book is called The Curse of the Bambino. I know you want to read that. And you know what? While you're reading, maybe
Wait,
you
is this book
need
black and white
something
and red all
else.
over?
Yeah, it's black and white and red all over. But we have something else. We have a new car for Brooks. It is a Maserati MC20, starting value at $212,000. So it is a sporty car that we didn't get to give away last week. So
Sound
you
like
are
a hand-me-down from last week.
It's a hand-me-down, but it's a brand new car. So enjoy, Brooks. Go for it. It's got I don't know, some huge engine and 621 horsepower. So I think you'll be able to get around just fine. I don't know how they got all those horses.
It's already depreciated 50%.
You're just jealous. You know?
I'm just telling the truth.
All right. Are we ready to go on? Thank you, Mr. McCulloch, and thank you, Brooks, for saving iBUG Night at the Virtual Movies. All right.
And I'd like to suggest that Mr. Movie guy over there needs some further dentistry work. If his
yes.
falling out.
All right.
Yes.
Here we go. We are going to, our favorite part is, all right. Oops. Oh, sorry, Mr. McCulloch. You want to say goodnight? You can say goodnight. You have to unmute though. But I think we've had enough of you tonight. All right. Thank you, Mr. McCulloch. All right. So now, real quick, we're going to have our iBUG Bites segment. I mean, no. Yeah. I'm so disoriented by all this. Okay. iBUG Bites segment with Terry Ann. Then we'll have questions, and then we'll have our iToy segment. So pretty busy day today. So stick around. We still will have time for your questions. All right. Terry Ann, are you ready?
I think so. I hope so. I'm a little confused myself, but I think let's see here. All right. Oops, I have to turn this other thing back on. I need an extra hand here, and I don't have one. Okay. Come on here. All right. So tonight I'd like to talk about how to enable or disable capitalization and cap lock features when you're in the edit mode on your iPhone. You can do, there's one thing that I think somebody talked about this a couple of weeks ago. You can do a 2-finger triple tap to get you to all of the options that are available when you're in the edit mode, the edit field of whatever it is you're typing. And then you either search for the shift or the wait, if I can read what I wrote here. Yes, you either search for shift, or you can use the section index to get to that letter S and double tap on shift, and that'll tell you how to find out where the shift key is located on your screen. And it'll also give you instructions for toggling caps lock on and off. But we're not going to do it that way, because I thought that was a little bit daunting, a little difficult. So instead, I'm in messages and I'm in the edit field, and I have, oops, I have,
need to bring it, Terry, I
let
need you to
me-
bring it a little closer to your phone. To the
Actually, I
mic.
needed to turn up the volume here.
Yeah.
There. That's always the difficult thing here. All right. Can everybody hear that?
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Oh,
think
good.
so.
All right. So I'm in a message to Sandhya, and if I want to, I have the word, let's see, I'm going to delete something here. I'm going to type in the word test. And let's say for purposes of this demo, I don't want the T in test to be capitalized. So what I'm going to do is put my finger down at the left hand bottom corner of my screen.
Selected. Shift.
And
Quadruple tap to enter caps lock.
right above the emoji is the shift key. And you've noticed, I hope you heard it say selected shift.
Shift.
And it also said, because I have the feature that gives me instructions about how to do things, you can turn that on or off, but I have mine on. So it also said quadruple tap to turn on caps lock. So if shift is selected, it's kind of a goofy thing.
Cap Q. Cap selected.
If it's selected and I touch the letter T as in test,
Message. Text field T.
you notice that it's not capitalized. If I touch the shift key again,
A. Shift. Cap A. Selected. Shift.
and it
Quadruple tap to shift.
and it just says shift, then if I touch the letter T in test,
Cap R. Try. They.
well, let me
Till. Till. Room. Delete. Room. Delete. Space. Delete. T. Cap T.
There we go. Now we have a capital T. Now, if I want to capitalize every letter in the word test, I'm going to do a one finger quadruple tap. So one finger 4 times. I think that's what quadruple means. So let's try this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well,
Shift.
it should have said,
tap to enter caps lock.
okay, let me try it again.
Selected. Shift. Caps lock on.
There we go. Now it said cap selected, and it also said caps lock on. So now if I type the letter E,
Cappy. Messages. Cap R. Cap W. Cappy. Cap R. Cappy. Cappy. Cap S. Cap S. Cap T. Cap T.
it capitalized everything in the word test because caps lock is turned on. If I want to turn caps lock off, I'm just going to double tap with one finger.
Cap A. Select Cap A. Selected. Shift. Selected. Shift.
Okay, and I actually even just touched the shift key.
Cap D.
Well,
Cap
it
A.
didn't turn it off yet. Hang on.
Z. Shift. A.
Okay, now it turned it off. Yes, so really, if you double tap with one finger, in theory, it should turn off the shift lock or the caps lock. So then if you want to capitalize another letter, you have to double tap that shift key or touch it. It depends, because I have mine set for touch typing. I just touch it and lift my finger. If I have it set for the other typing mode where you have to find whatever it is you want on your keyboard and then double tap it, then I would have to double tap that shift key in order to turn it on or off. So that's the way I find that works best for me in terms of using caps lock on and off and enabling or disabling the shift key. So with that, I think everybody might be muted. So Sandhya, if you
All
could
right. Yeah. Thank you,
unmute
Terry
people,
Ann. Yeah.
and we'll
Okay.
have questions.
All right. Who has a question for Terry Ann about caps lock? All right. Different. Just say your name if you have a question. Everybody is unmuted. Okay. All right. I guess you have
Okay.
explained it. So thank you very much, Terry Ann.
You're very welcome.
All right, very good. Okay, so I think Jody had a question before the midpoint. So do you still have your question, or otherwise we will move on? Okay. Guess we will move on. All right. Who hasn't had a turn would like to ask a question? Please. Dana, go ahead.
Yeah, I was wondering how I could get my Siri. Well, let me start like this. When I use GPS, I can hear voiceover through my headphones or earbuds. I use earbuds. I can hear voiceover through earbuds, but when the GPS voice talks, it comes through the phone and not the earbuds. Is there? And the same thing happens when I use the phone. I can hear, voiceover through earbuds, but when I talk to someone and I want it to be private, I don't want everybody to hear what I'm saying or what the other person is saying. It comes through the phone speaker. How can I? And it used to not do that.
All right. So who has some help for Mr. Dana? So it sounds like, is it showing up as paired? Your earbuds, your earbuds they're paired, obviously, right? Because you are hearing some things out of there, but not everything.
Right. Yeah. It's paired, and sometimes I use the corded earbuds.
And are you saying that the voiceover always comes through the headphones or always comes through the phone?
The voiceover comes through the earbuds, but then the other person I'm talking to comes through the phone speaker.
Okay. All right. Anybody have any thoughts for Dana?
This is Roy.
Roy, go ahead.
I just had a question, Dana. If you cover up, where your ear would normally go with your hand, does the person on the other end go to your headset then?
I've never tried that, Roy.
Probably no real reason. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I just wondered if you had tried it. I don't know if it'd make a difference.
Yeah, but I've like with the I'm sorry, it's Dana. But like I said, when I use the GPS, the GPS voice comes through the phone when it never did that before. Also, so I guess I have two problems.
Yeah, I think you
This
got
is Jody.
Jody. Go ahead.
Was Kathy gonna, okay. I've had that happen too, and sometimes it's just a glitch. So sometimes when that happens, I turn the earbud off and then I turn it back on again, and then it will connect again and pick up the through the earbud instead of through the speaker.
I've
had that happen too.
All right, and is Kathy there? Did you have a comment? I didn't hear her, but all right. Okay, Dana. So go try to, and then last resort is always to unpair it and pair it again. Maybe you've already tried that. So just to clear up any Bluetooth issues. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna, I tried unmuting when you called me before, and my phone wouldn't unmute. So anyway, the quick question I have is, when you have a phone without a home button, how do you open the app switcher and close the app switcher?
All right. Who would like to help Jody with that question?
This is Kenny.
Go ahead, Kenny.
To open the app switcher, I just take my finger and have it at the bottom and draw a line up, and if you have voiceover on, you'll get some kind of feedback and noise. And you have to go a little more than halfway, and it'll say app switcher, and so you just draw this continuous line with one finger, a little more than halfway. And to close the app switcher, I think if you close all your apps, the app switcher goes away. But if you want to dismiss the app switcher without closing all your apps, you can draw the same line. Instead of going all the way, almost like 3/4, you can go a little bit, maybe half, and it'll go home and dismiss the app switcher.
All right.
You
Jody,
do all
so you
this with
still
one
slide
finger.
up from.
Hang on.
Just
Okay,
so
go
you
ahead,
still
Jody.
slide up from the bottom.
Right. Yeah.
This is
Okay.
Dana.
Thank you.
Okay, Dana.
Yeah, Jody, you have to be in the middle of your screen when you swipe up with one finger, and you have to do it pretty quickly. You'll hear three boops, like boop, 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 and when you get to the third boop, then that's the app switcher, and it'll either, like Kenny said, it'll either tell you app switcher or it won't say anything if all your apps are closed.
All right. Okay.
Okay,
Thank you,
you.
Mr.
You should
Dana.
do the boop, boop, boop again.
Yeah, but boop, boop, boop. Okay, so now we are at our 8:30 hour. So we are going to go ahead and go to our iToy segment, and we are going to mute everybody. It's a busy day. So Herbie, you ready?
I am, yes. Good evening, everyone. So today you actually get me as your presenter, and I kind of gave a teaser about this a little bit ago. And we've talked about a lot of fancy headphones over these segments with the AirPods, the Bose, all that. So today I'm actually going to talk about a pair that are very simple, straightforward. Many of you might be familiar with them, maybe not. These are the EarPods. That's right. The headphones that used to come with the phone. The phone gets a lot of unfair rap for not having a headphone jack, but what people don't mention is that, used to be at least, that the EarPods came with the phone. Now they come separately. You have to purchase them if you want them. They are about $20 off of Amazon, give or take. And if you just type in EarPods, you will find them, though it's going to try to sell you the AirPods and stuff first. The design is pretty straightforward. You've got your lightning connector on one end, which is what you use to charge the phone. And, oh, that's right. So the ones that'll try to sell you first are the ones with the 3.5 jack. That's something you'd use like if you were getting them for the Mac. It comes with 2 earpieces. There is only one way they go in. If you put them in the wrong way, then they won't feel comfortable. But the mic side is the one that goes on the right, and the one without a mic goes on the left. They are designed to, if you've seen the AirPods, they're like, not the AirPods Pro, but the other AirPods. They are kind of like the same design. They have the little pads that go on your ear, so they're on your ear, in your ear type thing, and then they have like the little curved things to make them fit even better. The first design, by the way, did not have that little cutout. And these are great because since they plug directly into your phone, they offer a very good sound quality, both for listening and for talking on Zoom and or any other platform, phone, especially like if you want to use headphones and you're in a crowded situation like on Metrolift, you're going to have much better luck with people hearing you on those than you will using Bluetooth headsets that have the mics really far away from your mouth and it's competing with loud vehicle noises or whatever. So the mic you can adjust basically and have it, right next to your mouth. So I highly recommend you use these when out and about and needing to talk to somebody on the phone. And also they're good for dictation as well because, again, it's a close-up mic that you can talk directly into and that's going to help it be able to hear you. You do have some play pause functionality built into the EarPods as well. If you click the center, There's kind of like a little cutout where the center is. That is going to be your play pause. It's also going to be your hang up and answer a phone call. So if you get in a phone call or a FaceTime call, if you press it, it will answer the phone. If you squeeze the upward portion of it, it's going to do your volume up. And likewise to go down. You can also double click the center several times to do, I want to say it's fast forward. If you're listening to music, I think it'll get you to the next track. So when you get the earpods, they come in a massive square box for such tiny little headphones. And I've got the box right here in my hand, actually. I just recently had to get a pair. So you can hear what the box sounds like. It has a little plastic handle on the top. It has tape that you will have to peel back, but you can do it with a good pair of nails. Otherwise, just use a tiny knife to get in there where the box hinges. And then you use that handle to lift the smaller box out of the big box. Then you unfold, and there's a whole bunch of paper here at the bottom of the box. I'm assuming these are instructions. Why you need instructions for earpods, I don't know. And the reason why I got a replacement pair, by the way, these can sometimes go quickly, but I dropped one of mine in some raw meat last year, and I don't want to really put that thing in my ear. So then they're in a little paper cutout. And I'm just going to push up on the headphones and kind of lift it out the cutout. And then there's paper flaps on the side here. And just lifting these little beauties out. We're going to throw that away. Now I'm going to make sure they are untangled. I've got the side with the mic. I'm going to put that in my right ear. They have a little clip at the bottom to kind of make the wires stick together. And you can move that clip. I'm going to plug the other end right into my headphones. And thank you, Zoom. I'm going to now do this. Right, I guess I gotta do it this way. Give me just a second, folks. But I'm going to actually, in a way, let you hear what they sound like. Hello, everyone. I am talking to you now on my earpods, right here on Zoom. So you can hear exactly just how clear they sound. I'm kind of holding the mic up, but if I just let it go, it's kind of goes down by my face. So this is what they sound like in their best quality with the original sound on. If I do this, then I'm just going to sound like this. Okay, still not bad, but a bit more distorted, but still, it cuts off a lot of the echoes. These definitely can pick up a lot of background sound as well, if especially if you're in an echoey environment. And another thing you're going to notice with them, and this discussion earlier from Raheel about FaceTime reminded me of this. You do get this with the AirPods as well, but also with the earpods. Now, if you do a FaceTime video call, you are going to hear everybody in stereo. And so if you have multiple people, you're going to have one person on your left, one person on your right. Also, if you are a Clubhouse user, again, you will now get, and you like the spatial audio feature, when you're on stage, you will actually get it while wearing these. You will get it with other headphones too, but again, you have a pair that has the microphone built in as well, so that really helps. And unlike Bluetooth, it's not going to distort the audio. They're very lightweight, of course. You can have both ears in or just one, depending on what you're listening to. And let's see, what else can I tell you about the earpods? Oh, they're really great, though, for you, like Raheel, I was mentioning something for your situation. The advantage with wearing earphones when you're in a phone call is you're not going to fight as much with voiceover. And if it does still get low, which occasionally can happen, then usually just resetting voiceover fixes it. But these are just a great little standard earphones that come with the iPhone, or any Apple device that has the Lightning connector that sound really good. And they are another advantage for them is like if you are an Apple Music user and you want to listen to lossless music, they're going to, again, they plug directly into the phone, so you're going to get more of a music. You're going to hear the instruments and stuff even better than you might with Bluetooth. And that is it for the basic ear pods. And with that, we can now open the floor up to questions.
This is free.
Yes.
Yeah, there's two advantages. I'm on an ear pod right now talking. First, never have to charge this. It's always running.
Nope, you do not.
Second, from a health perspective, I don't know I'm not a specialist in this, but I'm just going to guess. When you're wearing Bluetooth, it's sending some signal between your phone and to the Bluetooth device, which is going to penetrate, your body. These, you can keep your phone away, and there's no, signals that are going through wirelessly.
So. Yeah, but how am I supposed to communicate with the mothership then if there's no signals coming through? That's what I don't understand.
Sign language.
Sign language. Okay, there you go. Well, how about it? I don't know about this one, but I would point out, though, that the advantage with Bluetooth is you can actually have your phone far away from you. So let's say if it gets really warm, like it sometimes does if it's what you're watching video or whatever, you can at least have the phone on your charger and use Bluetooth to go away. But so I don't know if what I think of the health benefits, but I definitely agree with the fact that you don't have to worry about charging these or anything like that. And it's also great because, well, I don't agree on the health aspect. Well, I don't know. Maybe other people have thoughts about signals and whatnot. But it definitely will help save the power on your phone because it's definitely, it's just, you've got a device plugged right into it. And so I know a lot of people, the complaint is you can't, first of all, you can't always get a splitter and use these in conjunction with a charger, but these aren't going to use up as much power as a Bluetooth device is going to either. And Bluetooth has gotten a lot better, but these will help save power on your phone too if you're in a situation like that. So very good, Shri, and
all right. Anybody else got questions for Herbie? We're going to move on.
Jody?
Jody, yes.
Yes, I thought the microphone was in the switch, the cord, the switch on the cord. I didn't realize it was on the earpiece.
No, it is on the cord. That's why I think I should have clarified that. So on a lot of Bluetooth devices, it's on the earpiece, but with these, it's on a cord on the wire.
On the cord.
That's why, yes, that's why you can adjust it. So on one side is the mic, on the other side is your actual switch, the way it's designed here. See, I'm talking now directly into the mic. Okay, and that's the advantage with it, especially because I would try using Bluetooth when talking to Metrolift, for instance, and they were like, I can't hear you, and then I'd switch to the headphones, and we can hear you better now, so.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
This is Terry.
Yes.
I have some of the older sets of these earbuds. Is that? Yeah, earbuds. And there is a little rubber slidey thing. That's the name I'm going to give for it, that slides up the side of the cord. And if you put it on both parts of the cord that lead to your earbuds, the earpieces themselves, I think you can kind of adjust the position of the mic so that it's closer to your mouth as well.
Yes.
But it really sounds good. I mean, for earbuds, they sound really good.
Yep, well, that's why I tested them because for basic earphones that you plug into your phone, these are a pretty good deal.
All
And I
right.
had
They
I
really
had
sound
one
good
other
to listen again too. Yep, go ahead.
sorry. I had one other quick question. I have probably the ones that I got way back in 2009. Have they improved these as time has gone along, or is it pretty much the same and they've just been really good from day one, knowing Apple? Or do we
They
really
really
know
have.
that?
I mean, the only change you're going to notice from the 2009 models is they might fit in your ear a little bit better. I think that they could, but I don't know that they've made any improvements to them otherwise. Other than making the cutout, like having a little cutout to make them fit in your ears better. And so I do think that's the one improvement they've made since the model that you would have.
This is true.
Yes, true.
One of the things I've noticed with these, I put this through a wash machine and take it out, it still works.
Okay, I've kind of had mixed results with that one, so I don't want to say that they are waterproof, but you may or may not have good results with that, but that is definitely good that you have. Excellent. All right, anybody else?
Guys. Yeah, I think we're going to wrap it up, Herbie. So thank you so much for that. And these are affordable and not pricey Bluetooth headphones. So that's definitely a great option and definitely great quality. So thank you, Herbie. All right.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Now back to for the remaining time, we can talk to anybody who has questions that we didn't get to yet. And we will.
This is Shri.
Go ahead.
I just want to give Bridget the answer. She asked about the apps when you install it. So basically, if you go to settings, the home screen, the first thing you'll have is the option that says download recent apps. And you have two options, either on the home screen or always default to the app library.
All right. Thank you, Shri. That's very helpful because we've all had that. We download an app and then we can't find it. We're searching for it. Okay. Thank you, Shri. All right. Who's next? Somebody new with a new question? Anybody?
Jerry.
Go ahead, Jerry. Welcome.
Okay, I have a comment and a question for Shri, but the comment is in a couple episodes ago, somebody asked about sending a message, a recorded message on iPhone, like with the message app, which you can do. All you need to do is use Siri. If you have the person in the contact, I believe it was Vincent or somebody that asked, all you do is say, hey, S lady, or hey, S, send a recording to whoever you want to send it to. It'll say starting recording. Then you say you record whatever you want to record. Then you stop and it'll say ready to send. You just say yes or no. That way you can send a recording to any other phone than an iPhone.
Pretty cool.
This
Thank
is
you,
Shri.
Jerry. Okay, go ahead.
Can you also say edit it so you can re-record it? Or is it only once you record it, you have no other options? Like with others, with Siri, you can say edit or add to it. Does that feature work?
I don't believe you can edit it because it's a recording, right? I don't believe you can. I've never tried it, but I just have sent audio messages like that to different, like to Samsung or to even different phones than a Samsung or an iPhone.
I will try it. Thank you.
Wow, that is cool, Jerry. Thank you. All right. And you said you have a question. What's your question?
Yes, for Shri. The 2 episodes ago or something, you said a hard reboot you were talking about doing a hard reboot on an iPhone. Will a hard reboot delete any apps or delete any settings you already have? That is the approximate hard reboot, the 17 seconds one.
This is Shri.
7. Yes, go ahead, Shri.
So it doesn't remove any apps or delete anything. All it does is basically remove some of the cache that a regular soft reboot doesn't remove. And I've had it actually fix some issues, which I didn't think it does, but apparently it does do some repair work when you do a forced reboot. And the reason I hold it for 17 seconds, because in theory, at least what I've read is you want to hold it till the Apple logo comes on. And I had to have someone who had vision to tell me, okay, the Apple logo came on, and I counted up to 17 seconds. That's why I say 17 seconds.
Jerry.
Go ahead.
Yes, I'm just bugging you because Sandhya was bugging you last time too. So the hard
Good job,
the
Jerry.
hard
Good job. Good job.
the hard reboot is volume up, volume down, and then hold in the power button, or do you hold in the power button and then do volume up and volume down? How do you do that exactly?
This is Sri.
Go ahead.
So it's volume up, release, volume down, release, and then hold the side button for 17 seconds.
All right, thank you, Sri.
Yeah, just
Good
make sure you do
job,
it fast,
Jerry.
because if you do it
This is
slow, it
Dana.
won't work.
All right, Dana.
Yeah, it depends on how fast you count too, to 17.
17 Mississippi.
Okay, hold on.
Okay.
This is Sandhya. So for Sri,
Yes.
my one fear would be, okay, like, is there some danger if I hold it too long? Well, something. I mean, I'm always paranoid about. I mean, I know you say that you can't do anything and whatever, but is there any harm in doing it longer than 17 seconds or 20 seconds or whatever?
No,
Or
what'll happen is this is Sri.
yes.
So what'll eventually happen is it'll take you back to the lock screen. So
Okay.
the theory is that if you don't do it before the Apple logo comes on, I've read some articles that says that's not a real forced reboot. So that's why I wait till. So you can't go wrong with 17 with iOS 15.5 right now, because it's 17
right.
seconds.
Okay.
Jerry again.
Jerry, go ahead.
Shri, just what I meant the settings is like if I have some accessibility settings, will it redo those or will those stay like they are if I do the reboot?
This is Sri. Yeah, they don't affect any of accessibility. The only time it'll affect accessibility settings is if you do the settings reset.
Oh, okay.
All right. Somebody's paying attention. Good job, Jerry. Thanks for those questions and giving Shri a hard time. Okay. All right.
Everybody does.
I know. We love you, Shri. All right. Who's next? Who's next? Got a new question, new person, or old person with new question? Buddy, want to have
Bridget?
Yes, go ahead, Bridget. We want to hear from you.
Hey, on the iPhones, how many screens do they have? Is it 4? And if not, how many? And if it's 4, how do you go about adding another one? Can you do that?
Oh, what a great question, Ms. Bridget. All right. Yeah, go ahead, Jody. Jody, kind of hard to hear you if you're speaking. Okay.
This is Sri.
All right. Go ahead, Sri.
So you can have up to 15 home screens. And the way you add a home screen is you can move an app. Let's just say you're in page home screen number 4. You want to go to home screen 5. If you drag and drop an app to home screen 5, then you'll start creating a new page. So you can go up to 15. And just keep in mind, each home screen, if you don't have any widgets, each home screen can hold 24 apps.
All right. So Ms. Bridget, so it depends on how many apps you have downloaded also. So, I mean, like Sri said, you could have all 24 on one page, or you may have moved it, it really kind of depends, but up to 15, like he said. Okay.
And did he say you go to the app?
What?
I didn't get the question.
I say, did he say you go to the app to
App
download?
Store, App Store, the App Store.
Oh, okay, thanks.
This is Sri.
Okay, I think Terry Ann had a comment real quick. Terry Ann, go ahead.
Yes, if you put your apps in folders on a page, you can then get more apps on your screen on a particular page as well.
Right. And I mean, for a beginner person, I mean, it's totally okay if you don't have them in folders. It's something nice to have, but it's perfectly respectable for them to be all over, and you can just look for them.
And it's
That's what I
perfectly
do. I'm so okay. All right,
This is
Shri,
Shri.
follow up, Shri. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I would say, Bridget, the easiest way if you want to install an app, just ask Siri. Like you want to install the, let's say for example, the Pages app. Just say, ask Siri, find find Pages on the App Store. It'll find it for you, and then you just swipe right till you get to the Get. And one thing I will tell you about folders, one of the things that I don't like about folders, because before we used to be able to do itemized chooser, which is basically it lists your apps alphabetically, because apps can be anywhere, in any order. When you create folders, when you do an itemized chooser, it does not tell you what's inside that folder. It'll just say folder. So that's one of the reasons I am a little disappointed that Apple took that away, because before with itemized chooser, it will list every app on that home page or home screen alphabetically. So just something to think
Okay.
about.
All right, thank you. So yeah, that's pretty cool, Miss Bridget. Have fun with downloading. It's really exciting because there's so many cool apps out there. All right, okay, who's got a new question? Next
This is
question, Greg.
Okay, so I had a comment for Bridget and then a question. So for Bridget, if your home screen will hold 24 apps in the main field, and when you download that 25th app, it's going to automatically set up a second home page. So you don't need to worry about creating it. It's just going to happen.
All right.
And then my question. So I've created several folders. One of them, I put the Messages app and Twitterific and WhatsApp. And I did a 2-finger tap and hold and labeled that Messages. And Apple is calling that social networking. So I've done the 2-finger double tap and hold and erased the social networking and just typed Messages in, and VoiceOver keeps saying social networking Messages. So what do I do?
This is Jody.
Go ahead, Jody.
Yeah, you can relabel the folder a little more easily. When you open the folder at the top, there's the name that's there, the default name or whatever. If you do a 1-finger double tap on the field, it will bring up an edit mode, and then you can erase what's there and then type in what you want to rename it. So and that works probably more efficiently than doing what you're doing with the label. That you're using the label feature, where as opposed to actually renaming the folder.
Okay.
This
is Shri.
Okay, hang on, Greg. What question?
Yeah. So I guess one of the things I'm asking is anybody else having trouble with Apple automatically labeling folders?
This is Terry.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, Terry.
As far as I know, it's always been that way. Unless you change the name, it's going to come up with whatever name it thinks is good according to the files that you have in that folder that you've created. That's been a thing for a long time.
Yes,
This is
thank
Shri.
you. Go ahead, Shri.
Yeah, so Jody's exactly correct.
Hang on 1 second. Go ahead, Shri.
Jody's exactly right. That label element, the 2-finger double tap and hold, is not meant for labeling folders. It's actually the label things that are more of icons, but not like folders. One thing I would say regarding your question, now you know what, I lost my train of thought. So
Okay, good. We're gonna move on to Donna. Donna, go ahead. Donna.
Yeah, I was going to mention if he's trying. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
We hear you and the dog.
So
yeah.
I was going to mention I am so glad, and I'm sorry about the dog.
It's okay.
But on the naming the folder messages, it's probably changing it because he's already got the app in there called messages. So that may be why it keeps re-changing the name of the folder. So if he could put it as messages 1 or 2 or something else like that.
All right. So
that
there
would
you
probably
go.
solve the problem.
Thank you, Donna. Yes. And yeah, Greg, so there's a couple of solutions there. First, definitely go into edit. Don't use the labeling, and then try a different name if you really want to, because you already have an app called Messages. So may not want a folder that's also called Messages. All right. With that,
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. And thank you, Terry Ann, for your help in facilitating tonight. And we are wrapping it up.
You're most welcome.
Thank you. We had lots of great questions, and we had the
We did.
iChoice and iBug bites and all kinds of good stuff. So quick recap. Tomorrow, mini buzz on Clubhouse. Well, Tuesday night, we have Mac and Talk from 7 to 8:30 on Zoom, right here on the same Zoom conference line. Come with all your questions about Mac. Thursday, we have It's iBug's Life and all about parenting. And if you're a blind parent, we would love to for you to come and share your insight. We'll have a panel, so that should be really interesting. Then iBug Night at the Virtual Movies, we're going to be watching Spotlights, all about investigative reporting and a very serious topic of we'll find out. Okay, it's definitely a very tough topic, but we will be discussing it, watching it. And that's on Friday at 8 p.m. And then oh my goodness, we have the weekend off, but we will be back here for Memorial Day. We will have a meeting next Monday. So definitely go and party and have a picnic and everything, but then come back for Monday night at iBug Buzz. All right, with that, we will say goodnight and have a great week, and be looking out for the replay, the upload of our anniversary celebration from this Saturday. All right, and thank you all, and we will see you next week. Good night. Happy Memorial Day, and we will remember all of the people that served, but we will do that also again next week. So good night.